Oh wow. I don't know what's happening here. Let's see. Oh. Hello. Hello, hello. Oh gosh. Azulatus, hi. Wee wee wee. Boba sip. Oh, I love boba. I love boba. Hello, this is the first stream of yours I'm catching. How are you? I'm good. Thank you for joining. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. This one is for you. Oh my god, I love that channel. I don't know why my like Stream Deck plugins are not working properly. Okay, there we go. But what flavor boba tea? All the flavors. Also. Oh my gosh. Wait. Hi, Azulotis. Hi. This is like not exactly the same design, but look at my baby. Look at my little baby. Look at him. Look at him. Isn't he so cute? Sorry. My favorite flavor of boba tea is taro, but that's because I'm like, I have like a lot of nostalgia around it. That's why. Yeah, I have a lot of nostalgia around it. Like when I was younger, so they didn't really have like Asian grocery stores where I lived, so we would drive like a really long way. Okay, ignoring that. We would drive a really long way. Like, you can't see me. I would drive a really long way to get groceries from an Asian grocery store, and they had a like a boba tea stand, and I would always get taro, and that's how my parents would convince me to go with them, because I was like a child and was like, I don't want to sit in the car for 2 hours to get groceries. They're like, we'll get you taro bubble tea. And it was like the only place that had bubble tea also in the area, because it wasn't that popular yet. It was just like many years ago. So yeah, taro is my favorite, but like fake taro. I've had real taro bubble tea, like with like actual taro pieces in it, and that's too much potato flavor for me. OMG, same, so based. I was introduced to ube before taro, now I love both. They're both really good. The purple, it's so good. I watched your debut VOD. I love your baby Cappy tacos. Thank you. Thank you. I got the stream, but I'm also on 35 hours, no sleep. Unfortunately, I had a skill issue and need sleep. Have a good stream. No worries. Oh. Okay. I would like... Let's see if this works. Type. Okay, hopefully that actually works. Do you remember a long time ago I had a test? Yeah, well, it wasn't good. Oh no, I'm sorry. Woobot, are you going to work? Sir. Sir, will you work? Okay. Okay. It is working. Thank God. I wasn't able to kick ass. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, you didn't kick ass. That's okay though. That's okay though. You kicked ass in my heart. Yeah. Yeah, I believe. Are you a dragon? I am not a dragon. I am a Chirin. Like a Kirin. Chirin. I'm a deer dragon situation. But I am also kind of a dragon. Don't worry about it. Oh, and also don't worry if the bot didn't like announce something. It is definitely, it is actually checking. Yeah, I'm like looking at the status on it. Flower spirit. Yes, I am a flower. Yes, I was a flower, and I was a flower. I was raised by a lovely, beautiful lady who then died. And now it's a very Venti-esque thing where I take her form because she was beautiful. And I was just a flower. I didn't know what humans look like. And so now I look like this. And I'm also a doctor. Don't worry about it. I feel like dragons and Chirin aren't that too distantly related. I don't think so either. Yeah. Like, Chirin, like, I would describe it as like deer dragon. Yeah. I'm like it's like a deer dragon, I think is the easiest way to think about it. Don't mind the fact that my ears are like bear ears though. That's just there for flavor, for cuteness. I just think that having fluffy ears is really cute, okay? Okay, I'm looking at the giveaway situation. Yes. We have many entries. Even your lore is so pretty. Oh, thank you. That means so much. Oh my gosh. Lev, did my thing work or do I need to type it alone? Let me see. I actually can't see the entries themselves for some reason. I would type it alone. Yeah, type it alone. Yes, I would type it alone. Are we talking Lord of the Rings? We are. That is the plan because I watched it. Riding Sonic. Sorry, not Ring Sonic. Riding Sonic. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, thank you. Listen, if I start asking the flowers to look at the mole on my thigh, I think I'd be considered to be in need of the kind of doctor you are. Okay, this is fair. That's true. Although, we can talk about moles, basically. For moles, you don't want them to change. You want them to be symmetrical. You want them to be a consistent color. You don't want them to be like raised too much, and you don't want them to be too big. I would have rings if I could afford them. Have you read the book series too, or just watched the movies recently? I'm reading the books now. I'm like 20% of the way through The Hobbit, because my husband said I have to read that first. But we marathoned all 3 extended movies over the weekend, and it was so good. Oh my god. What if my mole is green and talking to me? Then you go to the doctor. If you have a mole that is green and is talking to you, you need help that I can't provide. Oh yeah, the Hobbit book is good. The Hobbit movies are meh. Oh, well, that is what I've heard actually. Is that the movie isn't that good. But that's okay. I do want to watch them at some point, just to say that I did. Well, technically the Silmarillion is important. Okay, yes. We do also have a copy of the Silmarillion that I will read afterwards. But in terms of order, I've been told to read The Hobbit first, and then The Lord of the Rings, and then the Silmarillion. Well, Doc, it all began in childhood when the mole started singing show tunes? Wait. Is the mole me? Is that what's happening here? Am I the mole? Okay, Lev, got to go things to do. Power went out. Holy crap. Oh no, I'm sorry. So I got things to deal with as well. Okay, understandable. Go deal with that. I'm sorry you're dealing with the power going out. That fucking sucks. What the fuck? Depends. Are you a mole? I'm not a mole. I'm not a mole or a spy. I'm just a baby. Okay, that's not true. I'm just a flower. I'm just a neurotic flower, okay? Baby, no wonder your catchphrase is wee 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 wee. The green mole sometimes sings in Korean, doctor. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that... Look, I'm sorry that sometimes I sing in... Sometimes I sing in Korean and Chinese and English. Don't worry about it. Oh, without the quotes probably is best. I can't actually really tell if it just picks it up no matter what you say. I think it does, but just in case, I would do it without the quotes. Yeah. What's that sound clip from? It reminds me of Teddy the Porcupine on YouTube. It's like, so it's honestly, wait, someone else maybe knows this question better than I do. The wee wee wee, I'm pretty sure it's like it's a little cat, right? It's like a little cat eating like food, like sitting in a bowl of food that's bigger than it. I put both, so I have no clue if the one with quote marks works. I mean, we'll just do it without. Do it without. Try without. I think that probably works better. The one without definitely works. Because when I wrote it in quotes, it didn't count me, although I don't know if it just automatically doesn't count me. Wait, you can sing in Korean? 맞습니다. Oh, it's a cat eating kibble. Just look up wee 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 cat. Yeah, it's a tiny little kitten, like going like in like a bowl of kibble that's like bigger than itself. It's like swimming and it's like wee wee wee. It's so cute. Wee wee wee. Wee wee wee. I didn't even know a cat can make that kind of sound. But yes, I can sing in Korean. I actually just released a music video. Oh my god. I need to probably fix the link for it though. You should see Teddy the porcupine eating pumpkin. It's such a cute vid. I didn't know porcupines were so cute. That's true. Porcupines are very cute. Oh, thank you, Sucho, for all the fire emotes. Cats make like oing 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 wow wow sound. What is this? Wow 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 wow. Isn't that a dog? Wong 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 wong. Sucho, don't burn the Sakubara baby. Yeah, don't throw. Oh my god. Don't throw fires at the Sakubara baby. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm being burned alive. What the fuck? Why did that sound like an Owen Wilson impression? Wow. Wow. I don't know enough about the Owen Wilson impression. Like, I don't know it well enough to be able to actually do it properly, but wow. Wow. Oh my god, Sutra. How many of these are you going to do? Okay, well, now Sucho is burning chat. I'm sorry, chat. You guys are just gonna die. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, as promised, we're gonna talk about Lord of the Rings. Guys. The movies are so good. The movies are so good. Oh my gosh. Wait. Hands. I bought like 500 of them last time. That was the last of them. Oh my gosh. You bought 500? Bro. You love throwing things at the screen too much. It's okay. I was hoping for some excitement anyway. Don't burn us. Maybe if you cry enough, you'll put out the fire. Like, maybe if we all cry enough, we'll put out the fire together. Right? That makes sense, right? Dun, dun, dun. Fire will purify the soul. Fire is a purifying element. This is true. Wait, how many? Guys, we're so close to 800. Ah. When we get to when seems like playing with fire. When I know people are gonna say that saying when I get to 888 is like not that big of a leap, but I still have to say if, because you never know. If, because nothing is guaranteed in life, you know? Nothing is guaranteed in life. You never know what's gonna happen. We could all explode. Suddenly the rules of physics could change and I could spontaneously combust. Who knows? Hopefully not. But if I get to 888 followers, I need to do something very Chinese. Yeah, I need to do something very Chinese if I get to 888. I need to figure out what it would be first. But I have time. Right? I don't think I'm gonna get there anytime like soon, like that soon. So 888, I need to take a picture of it and I need to do something extremely Chinese. Already? You just hit 700. Did I just hit 700? I don't remember when I hit 700. That was a little while ago though. In that case, I would like to change the drinking Road to Empress soup IRL. No! You know, I don't think I've ever had like osmanthus soup IRL. New cover drop. Yes! Wait, I do need to link it properly though. Because I don't think I have it. I don't think I have it. I don't think I have it like as my, what's it called? Command. I don't think I have it linked as a command, so let me do that. I will have so many questions for them. Wait, what questions? What questions would you have? You can ask them now. I'm always happy to answer questions. Where's my chatbot? Chat commands, custom commands. Cover, 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 cover. What's the significance of 888? Oh! Okay, let me just make sure this works. Okay, it does. The significance of 888 is just that 8 is a really lucky number in Chinese. 8 is considered a lucky number. And so like things that are 8 are just considered good. And so like the more 8s, the better. So like I'm pretty sure like a license plate that was like 88888888 like went for like $1 million or something. Like it was like auctioned off. It's like that kind of popular. Yeah. Yeah. So the number 8 is considered very lucky. So if I get to 888, that's like very, very lucky. And I should celebrate. I want to celebrate. Oh, a cover of that song that goes like 学学飘飘. Hit? What? 学学飘飘. What is this song? 一见美? Sorry, I'm listening to it. Oh, this song. 雪花飘飘，北风萧萧。雪花飘飘。Yes, that song. I do know that song. Oh. It's the most Chinese song I know. It is a very Chinese song, that's fair. That like particular style of singing. 雪花飘飘. Yeah. It's a very Chinese style of singing, I think. Wait. Did I miss YouTube comments? I hope not. If I did, I apologize. If you are on YouTube, please, yes. That one meme, yes. Yes. Oh, Someone on YouTube did say something. Hi, Gloria. Yes, that one meme of that Chinese man singing like 雪花飘飘，北风萧萧. What about red sun in the sky? 红太阳，天里的红太阳. I don't know that song. I don't think. There's also 甜蜜蜜，甜蜜蜜，甜蜜蜜，你笑的甜蜜蜜。Or 哦，一朵美丽的茉莉花. Those are all very Chinese songs. No, it's just me. Okay, well, just you is also good. Oh, interesting. I saw your cover pop up on YouTube homepage. You saw it on the YouTube homepage, even though it has no views. 67 views, I think, last I checked. Oh, hey, 67. Haha. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Anyways. Guys. Ewildaki, hi, Sissa. Guys, you're distracting me. You're distracting me from my goal today, which is to talk about Lord of the Rings. I have no specific plans other than that I watched all of the Lord of the Rings movies this weekend, and they're so good. Why did no one tell me they were so good? Guys, why did no one tell me how good they were? Like, what? Yeah, that's how I found the stream. It's on my homepage too. Really? How? I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Thank you for being here. I'm not complaining. But also, like... how? That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Wow. YouTube is YouTube. It's almost like YouTube likes me or something. Maybe YouTube finally is starting to like me. Maybe finally it's starting to like me. I don't know. But, oh, wait. So for everyone who's new, my name's Lev. I'm a doctor IRL. I am your favorite neurotic flower and your friendly neighborhood psychiatrist. I love to sing. I love to dance, but you can't see that. Because I am a two-dimensional anime girl. And I play games poorly, and I, talk a lot. So, let's talk about Lord of the Rings. The Hobbit films are okay, but the Lord of the Rings movies are amazingly done. Yeah, I've heard the Hobbit films aren't as good, but Lord of the Rings are really good. I don't know, I'm a fantasy guy myself and found Lord of the Rings underwhelming. I mean, I guess it can depend. Good morning, Oshi. Hi, Zanza. Good morning, Zanza. I guess, like, Lord of the Rings is interesting, right? Because it's one of those franchises that's like seminal, right? Like it starts because it started like a whole genre, you know? Right? Like so many of the conventions of that kind of fantasy genre do go back to Lord of the Rings. Like it created a lot of it. It's kind of like how like Star Wars also created or popularized, I know it's not the first, but it popularized like an entire genre of like high sci-fi, but like low, a sort of high-low sci-fi style, right? Which like already existed, I think, but it made it a lot more popular and I think crystallized what that looks like. And I think Lord of the Rings is the same, right? Like both the books and the movies kind of crystallized like what does like this kind of fantasy setting look like, which is like you look at popular fantasy stuff that's come afterwards, like obviously Game of Thrones is very, very inspired by Lord of the Rings. I think Witcher is also very inspired by Lord of the Rings in terms of like things that I can think of recently that come from a similar lineage, you know? Also found it on my homepage. Ooh. LJ. Thank you for being here. That's like so surreal to me. I don't get it. Like I assume it must be happening because people show up, right? Like there's people on my YouTube stream, even though I don't link it very much, because most of the like chat redeems and stuff are on Twitch just because it's easier to set up over there. Well, also because on YouTube it's hard to do very much until you like are partnered and like have like a lot of watch time. So slowly but surely, maybe someday I'll be able to do more stuff on my YouTube streams. But anyways, I assume it must be like recommending me to someone, right? Because there's people in the YouTube stream, which is crazy to me. But then, and like the same thing for like my short form videos, like on the other platforms, the TikToky and the YouTube Shorts and Instagram, although I don't use Instagram that much myself. Apparently it must be recommending it to someone because people are watching and there's view counts, and I'm just like, who is this being recommended to? Like, how? Why? But, you know, I have a chronic issue called I don't really understand why anyone would find me that interesting, but that means that I appreciate each and every single one of you for being here and for listening to me yap my heart out. It means a lot, and I know that you have many, many other choices and things that you could be doing in your life right now, so that anyone would want to spend some time with me means a lot. And yeah, I really appreciate it. I don't remember how I found Lev, but I'm glad I stumbled upon her. Thanks, Sai. Did you know YouTube Music is better than Spotify because YouTube Music has Lev Vellichor? That's very flattering, Vanny. Thank you. Yes. Oh, wait. Speaking of YouTube, apparently I saw this on Twitter, so maybe it's not real. If it's not real and you know that it's not real, tell me before I get myself in trouble. But apparently we can do like joined chats now. Like Twitch isn't going to enforce like if you have a combined Twitch and YouTube chat, they're not gonna try to kill you anymore, which is very exciting for me personally. Oh, okay, I'm getting bonked, but that's exciting because that means that I can maybe use a different chat widget, and then we can combine our powers and become Twitch and YouTube. Bonk to counter the glazing. Come on. My glazing of you guys? That's so rude. Why? Okay, anyways. You guys keep distracting me. We're talking about Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings. So for those of you who don't know anything about Lord of the Rings, like I don't know anything about Lord of the Rings, it is like very funny to watch the first couple, I guess mostly the first movie now that I think about it, but it's very funny to watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy as an adult that has existed on the internet for many years and who's never watched them before, because literally like every 10-15 minutes it's like the Captain America like I understood that reference meme. It's like I understood that reference. Like literally. Because you see all these memes online, right, that are out of context, and so you don't always know exactly where they're coming from. And so like it's like, fly, you fools. Or one does not simply ... or after all, why shouldn't I? Or what? Like there's so many good memes from the first movie. Are we talking books or movies? I'm right now talking about the movies because I watched all of them recently. But my husband my husband read all the books, and that's why we're watching them, and I'm gonna finish reading them too. We just only have one copy, so I had to wait for him to finish. And yeah, I'm very excited about it. I need to log in to work, but before I go, before you go what? Suspicion. Fine then, keep your secrets. Yeah. There are so many memes. I had the same experience watching them a few years ago. Yes, exactly. No, literally. It's like you're watching and you're like, oh, that's where that came from. Oh, that's where that came from. Oh, that's where that came from. Like, it is, honestly, it's so funny. The Balrog in the first movie is so scary, but it does, I will say, it does take away a little bit from the seriousness of the situation. That "you shall not pass" is a meme. Like, I think it speaks to how good the acting is in that moment and how good the writing is, that it does still hit. Like, I felt like it still hit. I was like, oh my god, Gandalf, oh my god. But like, the back of my mind was like, hey, you shall not pass, hey.
Levy is always amazing and fun to watch, and should be proud of herself.
Thank you. Thanks, Vanny. Oh. The video games hit different as a kid. There's Lord of the Rings video games? I mean, of course there are. That's not that surprising, but also, like, I've never seen them before. I didn't know that existed. Lord of the Rings video games. What would you even do in a Lord of the Rings video game? It makes me, like, I'm imagining, like, Star Wars Lego video game. Is that correct or incorrect? There are so many Lord of the Rings video games. Oh, okay. I don't know what I'm talking about, clearly. Clearly, I have no idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, so, okay. The thing with Lord of the Rings that I've been thinking about a lot is like, so obviously, okay, wait, let me just read this chat. My hope is always that I'm just not being too weird with people, lol. I'm a very chatty short sometimes, and everyone in this particular medical VTuber sphere has been very kind to me. Oh, that's good, I'm glad. Oh, like, not just me, right? Like, the other, there's a bunch of us, like, medicine VTuber people. Yeah. No, you're good. Bro, if anyone's weird or nerdy, like, we are weird and nerdy, you know? We get it. You've got your top-down action slasher, your Assassin's Creed clone, the MMO. There's a Lord of the Rings MMO? Really? That's crazy. I didn't realize there was an MMO. That's so interesting. You know, I've never played an MMORPG. We're gonna go off topic for a second. We're gonna go really off topic for a second. Okay, going very off topic for a moment. I, back in the day, but also now, really love this Chinese web novel series called The King's Avatar. And I read the entire web novel, and I've watched, I think, everything TV-wise that exists for it. Like, there's an animated series and some, like, what is OVAs, and there's a live action series. Anyways, I watched everything to do with it. I've read the whole thing. I love The King's Avatar. I, like, have a lot of feelings about it, even though I acknowledge it's not, like, high literature. It is about esports, specifically about esports in an MMORPG, like a fake one. And it made me want to play MMORPG so bad. And I tried, and then I just couldn't get into it. Like, even with all that love and devotion, I was like, I would love to be like the King's Avatar and play an MMORPG. I downloaded World of Warcraft and I got so confused. I'm like, oh no, I don't know what's happening. I just want to be like my favorite characters. I love the King's Avatar. Me too. The King's Avatar is so good. It's so good. I feel like it's underrated. I feel like there's a lot of people who are in the like Chinese web novel sphere who would enjoy the King's Avatar who just haven't gotten into it. I'm just like, I feel like it would appeal to all types, like the solo leveling types and the omniscient reader's viewpoint type. Like I feel like they all would like the King's Avatar. And even your like 我想同学 like MXTX like BL type. I feel like there's something for everyone in the King's Avatar. It's so good. Also, if you like the King's Avatar, you should watch Log Horizon. Did you try World of Warcraft Classic or Retail? See, that's a distinction that doesn't mean anything to me, unfortunately, so I probably did whatever the worst one is, if there's a worse one. See, this is what always ends up happening to me. Retail dumps like 1,000 different systems on you at once and is also just kind of bad. That's probably the one that I did. Like, probably. I have terrible luck with this sort of a thing where like whenever I get into a new franchise or a new IP, if I like whenever I get into a new franchise or a new IP, like the one thing of it that I've watched or engaged with is almost always the bad one. I don't know why. This is just what always happens to me. It's like, oh, I've never watched any Indiana Jones movie except for The Crystal Skull. Which, like, I will argue isn't even that bad, but it is the one that people don't like. You know? So, tax lord. Oh my god, no, wait, I'm not done with my taxes yet. Wait, I haven't done my taxes yet. Wait. It's not March yet. You can't kill me. But hello, tax lord. Thank you for your first time chat. Please don't find me. I still have time. I still have time to do my taxes. Oh, Pymid, thank you for the follow. There's a new webtoon called Hardcore Leveling Warrior. Ooh, based off an MMO that you play while you sleep. Wait, how do you play while you sleep? Yeah, you and your people have been very kind. I'm very appreciative. I like to hear people's stories and life experiences, whether they're a psychiatrist or a janitor. Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I mean, that's why I'm a psychiatrist. Like, I love hearing people's stories. All right, your favorite insomniac is done studying. Hehe. Okay, hi, freezing milk. Although, isn't it late for you? I feel like it's always late for you, so you should go to sleep anyway. Huh. Had an MMO review streamer make the same mistake. He bounced off retail, learned about classic, and hasn't been seen outside World of Warcraft. That sounds like a horror story. He learned about World of Warcraft classic and never returned. Kill you? No, that's not my style. Okay, don't kill me or find me or send me strange mail. King Jinx _5. Thank you for the follow. I don't know why my alert thing didn't ping, but I see it on my thing. So it's either 11 p.m. or 2 a.m. when you stream. Oh yeah, that's true. That is around when I stream for you. I'm sorry. I am actually pretty sorry. Bum bum ba da dum. Let me do this again. Okay, we're doing a giveaway for a signed print. Oh. Thank you for the follow. How tick karma. Oh my. Don't worry, it's between Lev's stream or studying till I drop. No. Okay, don't do either of those things, please. Don't study till you drop. Sorry, had to step away for a bit, but if you've seen the Lord of the Rings movies, then I recommend the videos about it on the YouTube channel Cinema Therapy. Oh yeah! I get recommended Cinema Therapy a lot online. Yeah, I've been recommended them before. I've watched a couple of their videos. I really do like them. They seem very thoughtful. Or I like the therapist guy, right? Because it's one therapist person and one like more cinema person. What do you mean don't study till I drop? Don't hurt yourself studying. That's not worth it. I won't do such a thing. I am too sentient. But chat on the other hand. No, wait, don't hurt chat. Also, chat can't hurt me either. That's just rude. How well, big sister? Hi, Peachy. Everybody go follow Peachy, my little sister. Also, Oshi, do you still have your VODs on your channel or a YouTube channel that has them all? Yes, they are all on YouTube. I have all my VODs saved to Twitch, like automatically. I have all my VODs saved to Twitch automatically, but they don't save for like that long, right? Like Twitch just dumps them after a certain amount of time. So I usually will multi-stream to YouTube, so they'll be on my YouTube channel on like the live tab. So it won't be on like the videos, but it'll be in the live section. Yep, quite thoughtful, empathetic, and funny. Wait, I missed the context for this. Oh yes, sorry, cinema therapy. I was like, what was this about? Yes, I agree. That's my impression of them. Yo, chat, who wants to start a fist fight for no apparent reason? Please do not. Please do not start a fist fight. How would you even do that? Thanks, I need that VOD where you talked about setting up mic and audio stuff on OBS. I plan to set that up today with Spectral later. Okay, yeah, no problem. I forget which VOD it is, actually, but I think someone clipped it for you, so it should also be in my Twitch clips somewhere. I think Bone clipped it. But if you have any questions, just let me know. Like, genuinely. I'm always down to help. Or if you record things and send them to me. Yeah. I throw a punch, then somebody throws one back. Okay, like, I do understand the physical mechanics of having a fist fight. What I mean is, how do you have a fist fight over the internet? In my chat. Also, don't do that, please. This is a non-violent space. I will kick you out. I was gonna say I will kill you, but I feel like that's counterintuitive to the no violence point. Guys, you're not letting me talk about Lord of the Rings. I swear to God, no one's letting me talk about Lord of the Rings. Punch. Oh, okay. We're just filling the chat with the word punch. I see how it is. I see. Naruhodo ne. Jay and Silent Bob style. You hop a plane and fly to their house. VR chat, Denny's parking lot. Lineal, thank you for your first time chat. I appreciate that this is your contribution. Okay, yeah. So guys, we all need to go into VR chat and start fighting each other in the Denny's parking lot. Does VR chat have a Denny's parking lot? What about Lord of the Rings did you want to talk about? Honestly, I just wanted to talk about it because I watched it. But no, it's the title. It's the title. The meaning of life. I feel like Lord of the Rings has things to say about the meaning of life. Can we all be Ugandan Knuckles? Like the Sonic character? Like Idris Elba? You can't be Idris Elba. No one can be Idris Elba. You know, do you know what my favorite piece of Idris Elba content is? OMG, we need to make a digital dreamer server in VR chat. Yeah, we do. And that'll be really funny. No, do you know my favorite piece of media Idris Elba has ever done is? It's Vroom. Vroom. Vroom, 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 vroom. Vroom, 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 vroom. Vroom, 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 vroom. Da 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 da. Maserati, Maserati. Maybe the Bugatti, Bugatti. Bugatti. It's so good. I I encourage you to listen to the song. A weird. Sorry, I'm yawning. A weird thing about the movies is that before them, Peter Jackson was a B-movie horror director. Oh, yeah, that's true. And you can kind of see it with how he handles the Oryx Ring Wraiths and Balrog. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's like super old Holy Unk status. Is it that old? Wasn't that just in like GT7? Is GT7 that old? Which part of the meaning of life as exhibited in the movies attract you? Like the difference in lifespans between men and elves and how that impacts their actions? That is also part of it, I think. I mean, okay. Wait, that does get me into something that I think is very funny. So very obviously, I think that FromSoft games are very inspired by Lord of the Rings, like obviously. I think aesthetically, they're definitely inspired by the movies. And this is, I don't know if anyone else feels this way, because I haven't looked into it. Maybe, I'm probably not the only person who has come away from the FromSoft games with this feeling, but I feel like the central thesis of a lot of FromSoft games, like, you know, Dark Souls or Elden Ring, is like, don't be immortal. Being immortal sucks. If you become immortal, that is a great way to become a sad, depressed human being. You know, that's that's what I feel like is the thesis or the takeaway of a lot of FromSoft games to me. It's like, if you become immortal, life sucks, and you will try to not be that anymore. You should die. Being mortal is good. Don't be immortal. Avoid that if possible. And I feel like some of that maybe is in Lord of the Rings a little bit. I mean, the elves are definitely considered good, you know? Like, they're considered, like, on the side of the good. On the side of the good people. The good. But there is something, like, kind of off? I think there's something kind of off about the whole, like, immortality part, right? Like, I do think that it does make a kind of side argument, like, through Arwen about, like, the beauty of being mortal, you know? And I think that's also kind of the through line underneath the shorter mortal lives of men, right? Many cultures have beings in their mythology that are immortal, that grant humans immortality, but it's usually in the context of being a bad thing that humans have to commit some grave evil to achieve. Immortality seems like it would be boring. Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, I think that being immortal robs you of a lot of meaning in your life, right? Because it is the fact that we don't have that much time on Earth, right? It's the fact that our time in our life is going to end that makes our choices meaningful. You know what I mean? Like, choosing, like, every time you do something, you are consciously or unconsciously choosing to do that instead of something else, right? Like, there's a million things that you could do. You have to choose one. Even if it's doing nothing, like, even sitting there and doing nothing is choosing to do something, right? Like, by choosing something, you close other doors, right? Meaning of life is 42. Also, hello. Hi. Yes. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe reference. Like, my will to live is literally, I want to see what happens next in the story mode of so-and-so game. I mean, yeah, but like, this is the thing, right? Is that like, you say something about yourself and you tell yourself something about yourself by saying like, oh, story and video games and like this kind of art is what matters to me. I'm going to do this instead of doing something else that I could do. And the choice of doing this instead of something else matters because I don't have infinite time, because I can't do everything, right? And I think the fact that our lives end is what makes our choices meaningful. So would you say a dog's life is more meaningful than a human's because it's shorter? No, not necessarily. I'm not saying that like the shorter your life is, the more meaningful it is. I'm just saying that like the fact that life does end is part of what makes it meaningful. You kind of see examples of the whole immortality idea and how it might affect us in life already. People who become like listless and lose their desire or interest, so they just wait and wait and wait. Yeah, like for whatever reason, I would say the choices the elves make are meaningful too. Well, yes. I'm not saying that, but yeah, it depends on the kind of immortality that we're talking about. I think I'm not saying that if you're immortal, none of the choices that you make are meaningful. Especially like as they pertain to things that do end, right? But like I guess what I'm trying to say is that Arwen's choice to like stay with, to be with a mortal person, part of what makes it so meaningful is that she's choosing something that she knows is going to end, right? So it's a hard choice, so that's what makes it meaningful, right? I mean, like, if something is easy, then does it mean something to do it, you know? What I want is the always be youthful one, or maybe invulnerable one. Not reincarnation. Imagine having to start school over and over again. I'll quit on life more. I mean, it also depends on the kind of reincarnation you're talking about, right? Because there's like reincarnation that's like your spirit reincarnates, but you're not like explicitly remembering all your past lives. And then there's reincarnation that is like, yeah, like you're just living one really long life over and over again. Yeah, it gives added meaning. Well, yeah, like think about honestly, the allegory that I have is like, think about people who choose to have pets, right? Knowing that their pet is going to die before them, in all likelihood, right? Like, if you're in your 20s and you get a cat, your cat is most likely going to die before you, and that's going to fucking hurt, you know? But like, it's worth it, right? And that's what makes it meaningful, I think. Freerun Beyond Journey's End is... Oh yes, I have heard that Freerun is very good. If you find yourself on a fantasy kick after finishing Lord of the Rings, it's an anime manga light novel worth checking out. Yes, I keep getting recommended it. It's like her relationship with Himmel, right? That's what I see. Yeah, see, that's why after my batch of chickens die, I'm never getting another pet. I mean, that is understandable, right? Because it's a lot of pain. And I think about it a lot because my cat died last year. It's like, it hurts a lot, right? And it really does make you feel like, I guess I'll never I never want to feel this kind of pain again. But then, like, I don't know. I feel like I don't. It's like that very nihilistic thing that I think a lot of teenagers go through, which is like, I might as well not have any friends because they might hurt me, right? And pain fucking sucks, and loss sucks, and grief sucks. But I don't know if it's so bad that I would avoid the good parts of life that come out of being loved and loving someone or something else, you know? I raised them from eggs. I incubated them since day one. When they die, I'll cry like a girl. Okay, you'll cry like a human. Girls don't cry more than boys. I'm gonna say that first. But also, like, yeah, but that's part of the human experience, right? I'm not, like, not to be cliche, because people talk about grief a lot these days because of some mass media stuff, but like, the pain is because of how much you love them, right? And how much happiness they've brought you, which is like beautiful in its own way. Like, it wouldn't hurt as much as it probably will if you didn't love them so much, right? And I can imagine that, like, it's probably hard to imagine what your life would have been like without these little creatures. Lev, hi Rosie. The end of life teaches us the value of life. Yeah, exactly. I know, I've been thinking about this a lot. Nobody exists on purpose. Nobody belongs anywhere. Everybody's gonna die. Go watch TV. Well, okay, so then this is what I'm talking about with Lord of the Rings, right? So I think one of the themes is like, so the elves are doing elf stuff, you know, in the background, right? The elves are doing elf stuff in the background, and they're kind of immortal, and they just, you know, are around. And they care, but they're not the main characters, right? Whereas our mortal characters, especially like all the beings that are super tempted by the ring, right, that we see at least in the movies, they're like mortals usually, and I think a lot of them is like it's about a question of like, what do you do with your life, right? Like, what does it mean to live a good life if you know that your life is going to end? And like, what do you want to make of yourself? What are your goals in life? And you see all these people with different answers, right? Like Boromir and Faramir's dad is very like, power, I need control, I need prestige, right? And there's a lot of people who have similar answers. Like, power means something, having money means something, having prestige or respect means something. But are they happy? You know? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, like, for want of honor and prestige, Boromir and Faramir really fuck themselves up, you know? And their father sets himself on fire and jumps off a cliff. Like, I don't think he's lived a satisfying life. I don't know if that's the kind of life I would want to live. Even though you could probably argue that there's like hundreds of thousands of men in Gondor, in the world of Lord of the Rings, who would have wanted to be in his position, right? Who would have killed to be in his position of power, right? And so, like, who's really happy? Like, whose life would you actually want to have at the end of the day? And it's like, the hobbits. They figured it out, you know? Like, oh, okay. Thank you, Lev, for making me cry this afternoon. How am I making you cry? I'm sorry, I don't want to make you cry. But I feel like that's like the point of Lord of the Rings, right? Is that like one of the points is like, who's figured it out? Who's figured out like how to live life and be happy, you know? Oh. I am so lost. Thank you for the follow. Also, LJ said something. I'm reminded of an immortal who had to write everything down because humans don't have the capacity to remember hundreds of years of living. Oh, that's always an interesting thing, right? The immortality pushing up against the limitations of a body that's meant to be mortal. I think that's always a fun plot point. Arguably, mortality produces the want for prestige, putting off that second death and all. I mean, that's actually a really good point. Yeah, like the idea that we might die, the idea that we will die leads to like other desires of wanting to be mortal, you know? Or rather, sorry, other ways of wanting to be immortal. In one way is prestige and legacy and stuff like that. But anyways, what was I trying to say? I think my point is like, yeah, the hobbits have figured it out, you know? Like, theirs is a good and happy life. Like, maybe it's like simple, and I think a lot of people maybe think that it's boring or like that they're dumb or something. Like, they're not necessarily respected, but even so, they seem like a very, very happy people, and I think that's what I would want for my life. I think it's complicated in that context because a regular person in Gondor trying to usurp power doesn't mean much when the entire race of men is facing the wrath of Mordor and orcs, etc. I guess I don't necessarily mean like super literally in the context of the universe, but more like metaphorically, allegorically, like the hobbits did find ways to be happy in their simple life, but if they had not made the journey to Mordor, they would have also eventually been wiped out by Sauron Mordor as well. Well, yeah. I mean, but like how do I put this? Like that's ignorance does not shield you from reality. Oh, that's not really what I mean though. Like, I guess like this is not talking literally about the actual like in-universe events, right? It's like talking about what happens in the books and in the story means about like what the story itself is trying to say symbolically about life, right? Like, yeah, there's like all this literal stuff, and I don't think it's saying that like you should be ignorant, right? Because like obviously the Shire is going to get fucked up. I don't think it's about ignorance. I think it's about value, right? Because I think by the end you can say that like Samwise Gamgee, my favorite boy, is like a true hero, you know? But why does he do what he does? He doesn't do it for prestige. He doesn't necessarily even do it to save the world, right? He does it because of love of family, love of friends, love of community, because of the people in his life that he cares about. Like, and he's probably like the happiest guy there, you know? What is going on? History Guy 76. Hello! Thank you for your first time chat. We are talking about Lord of the Rings. I'm talking about the Lord of the Rings because I watched it recently, and how what the philosophy I think it has about what it means to live a good life. That's what I'm thinking and talking about. Well, because like the ring is basically the devil, right? Like the ring and Sauron by extension is like the snake of the Garden of Eden, right? Like that's the vibe, especially in the movie, like movies, the way that they portray it, it's got this like makes you evil, you know, like let me like tempt you, right? Like that's, I think, the way that the ring is often sort of positioned, right? It's a source of temptation. No, the ring is sin. Well, yes. That's what I mean. And Sauron is Satan. Well, but Sauron is also the ring, right? In any case, guys, I'm talking about symbolism. Okay, I am not a Lord of the Rings nerd. I'm going to get specifics off, but like it is collectively represents evil, temptation, sin, you know? Yep, agree with the assessment of Sam. A larger point, it was more distressing that you said the hobbits had everything figured out when ignorance is something they didn't. Oh, well, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, they are definitely a little sheltered, I would say. But not joking, Tolkien was a devout Christian. Oh yeah, no. I mean, I don't think you're joking. I just mean that, like, I personally don't see a huge difference between saying that the ring is sin and the ring is like the devil or the snake or whatever. It's temptation, right? I think. Catholic. Oh yeah, Catholic is a specific brand of Christian. That is true. Wouldn't the ring be the physical embodiment of greed? Maybe? I don't know. I actually don't know if you could attribute it to like a specific sin. Yeah, temptation. Yeah. And it's like, I think within a Christian-y context, the resistance of temptation is a good thing, right? And who resists temptation the best? Apparently hobbits. I am kind of oblivious of what is happening right now. I'm sorry. There's also Tolkien's whole anti-industrialization thing. Yes, that is also a big part of it. Yeah, the whole don't chop down the entire forest to make a war machine. I'm really just using Lord of the Rings as a jumping off point to talk about how I feel about what it means to live a good life. Because, so like, moving beyond the specifics and the explicits of Lord of the Rings. I would not call the hobbits representative of ignorance, but innocence. Yes, they are very innocent. I mean, the Shire has huge Garden of Eden vibes, you know? Right? Like, it does. Only thing I know about Christians is the Crusades. Okay, that is certainly one thing. I feel like you definitely know who Jesus is, though. Geez, Lev, let's just switch topics at this point. I should have known better than to get into a discussion about Lord of the Rings. People have strong feelings. Next, let's talk about Star Wars. I have a lot of feelings about Star Wars. I've watched, I will say, I'm proud of myself for this. I'm pretty sure I've watched all the Star Wars, like visual, like audio, like video media. I've watched everything that you could watch for Star Wars that exists. I'm pretty sure. Like all the movies and all the TV shows. So we can talk about Star Wars next. I have a lot of feelings about Anakin Skywalker. I have a lot of feelings about Anakin Skywalker. I love that boy. Star Wars is so huge of a medium, I don't want to start it. Even the Christmas special, yeah. I've watched everything. I guess everything that's like canon media. Have I watched like every single behind the scenes thing that exists? Probably not. But, you know, even down to Resistance, like, which is a terrible show, I will say. It's really, I've watched Acolyte, I've watched, like, you know, I've watched everything. I love Jar Jar. I do think that Jar Jar gets too much hate. Yeah. I think the prequels got too much hate. I think the sequels also get too much hate for what they are. Let's not even go into One Piece. I've never watched or read One Piece. It's too long. It's too long. It's too long. It's interesting. I want to get started on One Piece, but 1,000+ chapters, you got me dead. I'm so like, it's too long. It's too much. I have so many other things I need to do. Like I said, I'm gonna die before I finish One Piece. And if that's true, I might as well use that time on something else. Like, I'm so sorry. This is how I've decided to prioritize my time. I'm gonna do other things first. But I was talking about what I think it means to live a good life. And I feel like, in my opinion, right, I feel like valuing the little things, you know, enjoy, like being kind to other people, building community, building relationships. I think those things are what matter. Doing things that make you happy, even if they are hard, making things, making meaningful things, making lasting things, having a positive impact on other people in your life, big or small. You don't have to be a martyr, but like, I think that living a good life is the same as living a meaningful life, right? I think. Right? Like, I think there's a difference between pleasure and happiness, and that's where I think hedonism gets things wrong, right? Right? Like, a life that's just hedonistic, I don't think is a happy life, because I think a happy life is it's about contentment, which is about fulfillment, which is about making meaning, you know? Too bad there is no objective good, so do what you want. Oh, I disagree. I'm not gonna say that there's such a thing as an objective good. Oh. I'm being sprayed and bonked. Beautiful. I'm being sprayed and bonked. Beautiful, beautiful. I disagree. Okay. That there's nothing objective in morality. I don't think that's true. Like, wait, guys, we're making an argument right now. I don't believe in cultural relativism. Okay? I don't believe in cultural relativism. I don't. Okay, stop spritzing me. Is good and meaningful the same? Couldn't you live a life that is just meaningful to yourself but has no benefit to others? How do you define good? Well, I mean, that's what I mean though, is that it's different for everyone, right? But like, yeah, good and meaningful isn't necessarily the same, but I think that for most people, a good life for them is a life that is meaningful to them. Like, if you live a life that is...
There is no objective good. Their argument won.
Oh my god. I think that What I will say is that I think that if you feel like your life is meaningless, I don't know that you can be happy. So, ipso facto, you kind of need to feel like there's some meaning in your life to be happy, right? And as I also believe that most people want to finish out their life with a general feeling of happiness, having existed, then yeah, you need to live a meaningful life. And whatever that means to you. This is like a personal philosophy question, right? Like, no one else can tell you.
There is objective good. Oh God, there is.
Nah, my life is meaningless and I'm cool with that. I don't know if that's true. I would argue that it probably isn't. Like, maybe other people would find it meaningless. But I think it's very hard to find your own life meaningless and to be happy. It doesn't have to be something that other people would agree is meaningful. But if it's meaningful to you, you know? And like, these are questions that don't necessarily have strict answers and definitely don't have answers that are objectively true for everyone. I just think they're worthwhile questions for everyone to ask themselves, right? Because this is like, I think the I think there are a lot of questions in life that you don't need to find the answer to, but the asking of the question and the thinking of the question is what matters. I'm not gonna talk about the Bible online. Oh, no, we're not talking about religion. We're not talking about religion. When I say that I think there is some objective good and bad, I don't mean religion. What I mean is that cultural relativism is not a thing. I get rage baited when I see people preaching in TikTok comments. Well, I mean, understandable. I think anyone preaching about anything, religion or not, is kind of annoying. Like, I feel like there are usually, like, I think this is the thing. Like, is anything objective? No. Like, are there objective things? Like, in terms of, like, are there moral rules that are threaded into the fabric of the rules of the universe? No, I don't think so. But like, the idea that we just like make up morals from first principles, I don't think is true either, right? Because I feel like even babies have an internal sense of fairness, right? And maybe we disagree, but I think we're all born with like some innate sense of right or wrong, and we might disagree on the specifics, but generally speaking, I think there is an agreement. And where does that come from? I don't know. Evolution, biology. Some people will say God, but like, you know, because like there's things that we just all are going to agree on. Like you can do trolley problems to find like the edge cases that are difficult. But like if you're like, oh, choose between killing your mom and not killing your mom. Like, obviously, everyone's gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna, like, you know? Because we all kind of come, like, it's not, we're not, like, inventing don't kill people for no reason from first principles, you know? I think the process of thinking about these things can be difficult for people, whether due to practicality of having the time for philosophy, which is why it doesn't seem like it happens a lot because most people default to what's easy. Yes. Holy gap. Oh, I thought you were talking about me. Dude wrote an essay? I appreciate it. I think sometimes you need more words to say what you mean, because you need to be specific. I saw Lord of the Rings. I got spawned. Hello, John Pork. Hi, John Pork. Yes, we were talking about Lord of the Rings and what it means to live a good life. And what it means to be a good person. Which is, like, hard, right? But I feel like the text of Lord of the Rings has some things to say. And I think what it has to say is that, preoccupations with power and wealth and prestige often don't bring happiness. You know, or meaning to life. I originated from Yap Island. I love how everyone giggles or laughs when they see my username. People just need more happiness. That's really cute. Thank you for following John Pork 265. Even though you might not have seen it because you are on Twitch and I think an ad just started. Bum bum bum. We are in the ad. We are in the ad break. We're in the ad. Alright, Sutra gave me a sub. Why am I not abusing it? Wait, why would you abuse it? What does that even mean, abuse it? Don't abuse the gifts that your friends gave you. Not me? Yes. Yeah, if you don't want ads, go to YouTube. There's no ads on YouTube. I don't know what's happening in chat, but I'll stick to John Pork being a nice guy and go back to work. That's fair. I do think the characters in Lord of the Rings each exhibit attributes and make decisions that help lead to living a good life. Oh yeah. I don't think it's saying that like only one person has the answer or like one race has the answer, but I think like it is definitely not saying that the pursuit of power above all else is the answer. Even the ring itself doesn't give some major advantage to the one who decides to use it. It gives something that everyone else doesn't have. That's the scary part, I think. It's showing that all of us have this potential for corruption over something as small as a perceived advantage. It's a very intriguing display. But so say something is meaningful, wouldn't you also have to define what meaning? Well, yes. I mean, I feel like there's a way to talk about it that's like... I think that some of the ways that we tend to talk about media is maybe overly literal, right? Because like, I mean, I think this is in the text, right? You can correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is in the text, but I think that part of the power of the ring is not or the allure of the ring is not just in like what it gives you, you know? The like you can turn invisible part is honestly, I think, at least from what I could tell, like I feel like the turning invisible part is almost like besides the point. Like it's not the reason that people are going after it. It like has some innate, you know, I don't know, it's tempting. It's temptation. Sin personified, you know? A-E-I-O-U. Meaning is a verb, meaning is a value, very different things. Meaning. Okay, yes. So meaning is a very what is meaningful is a very slippery thing, I guess. I don't know that there is an objective sense. I don't think that there is an objective, like, answer to what is meaningful, right? I think everyone has their own answers to it. I think that a lot of us are going to overlap on the things that we find meaningful. I want the ring because I can sell it for big money. But you wouldn't sell it though. That's like the thing. It's so tempting. I mean, it's also very clearly an allegory for addiction. Right? Because like you think about like Smeagol / Gollum. He does not express any specific desire of like things he wants to do with the ring other than to have it, you know? And just, I don't know, the way he's portrayed, the way he's written, the way that he craves it, it's very addiction-y. That's what I mean, like the ring can represent many different things, you know? Oh, thank you for the follow. She deserved it, lol. Eh? Oh my god. Oh my god. Very much an allegory for addiction. Was very experienced with dealing with addiction. Oh, interesting. Alcoholism specifically. Huh. See, I think it's interesting also, like, okay, in terms of like, oh, which is interesting because all the characters exhibit that too, like Boromir, yeah, he gets like tempted, right? So everyone eventually would turn into Gollum with enough time. Right, like it like, you don't actually get anything out of it, but it gives you the feeling that it's going to give you something, you know? Wasn't Lord of the Rings Tolkien's way of dealing with World War I? I think that is a theory. I was reading some of his like foreword, and I think that Tolkien consciously, like if you asked him, I don't think he would say that this represents this and that represents that, and I'm trying to tell a story about whatever, right? But just because it wasn't there consciously doesn't mean that there's like not stuff happening unconsciously. Like there's plot contrivances and character points that definitely are inspired by things that happened like in World War I or like Beowulf or other media or things like that. Like we're all in, like no one writes a story that is 100% uninformed and unrelated to their own life experiences and to their own consumption of art, right? That's just not gonna happen. But is it all conscious? I don't think so. So I think that's what it is that I don't know that he consciously was like, oh, I'm going to process World War I by writing this book, but probably some of it snuck in there. But then also, this is what I'm like, a death of the author-ish-y kind of person, in that, like, whether or not something is intentionally allegorically one thing or another, I don't think it I don't think it always matters. You're what Tolkien wanted to throw into a volcano. Oh yeah, I don't think that was meant to be a link. It was meant to be a joke. Oh my god. Like, for example, it's also entirely possible. I don't know these things. I'm going to, if you made me guess, I'm gonna guess that the ring being an allegory for addiction was maybe not 100% intentional. You know, I don't know if he wrote Gollum and was like, this guy is an addict. But like, it's clearly kind of in there, you know? Right? Like, it's clearly an influence. And we can say that that comes from his own experiences with addiction or his own views on addiction. We could also say that it comes from, like, we can do like a cultural analysis and say that it comes from like a cultural view of like what happens to an addict, right? Like some of the, because there's like the mental part of like the craving of the ring, that this gives me something even though it doesn't really do anything for me and my goals. Like, I want it for no reason other than that I want it, right? There's all of that, but then there's all like the physical changes that happen to Gollum that I think are representative of a wider cultural view on addicts. I think that's interesting. I don't know how much of that was on purpose, but it also doesn't really matter, you know? Guys, stop fighting. Gooning is the answer. Oh my god, guys. Gollum didn't start off as an addict. Well, yeah, exactly. He doesn't. He starts off as Andy Serkis. He has his own backstory too. Maybe not as fleshed out. Yeah, he does. Yeah. And I mean, I think that's like the tragedy of it, right? Like, this is what happens within the cultural allegorical story of this. It's like, this is what happens to an addict. I have a question. Yes. Is it for me or for chat? How can I convince myself to move on? Oh, from what? A girl? A boy? A life choice? A job? Oh my goodness. Okay, lots of text. I mean, nobody started as an addict. The ring really messed him up. This is true. Certainly disorders like addiction kind of mirror certain things that other disorders do. Fear, obsession, compulsion, all of these things cause similar effects that addiction addicts have. So it kind of makes it hard to pinpoint one thing in these kind of stories and what their influences may have really been. Oh yeah, like, I think things represent different things, right? Like, things can represent multiple things, rather. Like, for example, literally speaking, the like taking the boat at the end of Lord of the Rings, like, literally within the text, they're going to a place where they can be healed and whatever. But like, they're going to heaven. They are dying. That's what's happening. Like, allegorically, metaphorically, it's they're dying. They're going to heaven. You know, my story is over, I must put my burden down, you know, that sort of a thing. Right. But it is also like you could say going to heaven, they're dying, or that they're retiring, or it's representative of acceptance, or you could say it's about a reward for a life well lived. Like, it's about different things. Anything. How do I move on from anything? Okay. So, what I will say about how do I convince myself to blank? It is hard because how do I explain this in a way that doesn't sound stupid? Okay. This is what I will say. We are a lot less logical than we think that we are. Okay? Let's start there. We are not logical. We are not cold, rational computers. We cannot be. That's not how it works, right? I don't know if there's like an actual number for this, but this is just like how I see things. A lot of the decisions that we make in our life are driven by emotion. And maybe the emotion itself is driven by like compiled and processed data and isn't like completely coming from nowhere, right? But a lot of what we decide to do is based on emotions, is based on gut feelings. That comes from a place, but it isn't only cold, hard facts and logic. And that's not a bad thing, right? It's not a bad thing, but it is how it works, right? Like, if you just completely took out your ability to feel emotions, you would never be able to make any decisions in your life, because there is no objective right decision for basically anything. And so ultimately you kind of need your emotions and preferences and wants and desires to like split the difference so that you can actually make decisions and move forward in your life, right? So emotions just drive a lot of our decisions, and this includes like continuing to do things or not continuing to do things, right? And like, this is why a lot of the time we're gonna start doing things that we don't really understand why we're doing it. Like, there's a lot of things that we do as humans that we don't fully understand. Like, why do I do this? Why do I always do this? Why do I always get into a relationship with this kind of a person? Why do I always react this way when this happens? Like, that comes down to emotions, and the fact that we don't always know why we're doing those things is a sign that we don't actually know our own emotions that well. So in terms of how do I convince myself to move on, you can't logic yourself out of something that you are doing for emotional reasons, right? You can't logic yourself out of emotions either. So my advice often is that if you feel stuck, is to, instead of logicking it out, because it doesn't always work, is to feel the emotions, you know? Like sit with the emotions, sit with the uncomfortable part, right? And then see where it goes. That's it. All right, I totally missed a bunch of things. We're talking about money, budget. We're talking about budgeting. What is happening? If we didn't have emotions, we would just be AI. I mean, we'd be pretty boring. We would be pretty boring if we didn't have emotions. So the follow-up question is, how does one be more in tune with said emotions? This is a good question. I think it's different for everyone, because it depends on what you do to manage or avoid your emotions. So Oh, Lev, context is I don't want to do IRL gambling because it's not fun. Yeah, don't do it. It's not just not fun, it's also not good for you. And also not worth it, and not a good financial investment, and addictive. Because that's just how our brains work. How do you be more in tune with your emotions? This is something that I'm learning how to do also. But I think a first step is to sort of try to understand yourself better, right? And to see, like, when I experience uncomfortable or distressing emotions, what is my default response in terms of how I deal with it, good or bad, right? Like, for me, my default is often like a combination of repressing an emotion that I find uncomfortable and intellectualizing / rationalizing. Like, I end up going into like, oh, this and that and this and that and this and that and this and that, right? And that doesn't actually help deal with the emotion, you know? So sorry, I gotta okay, I got a bunch of random notifications. Okay. Anyways, like, think about your defense mechanisms, right? Like, for me, when I get really anxious about something, I usually ignore it and then distract myself from the thing I'm anxious about, or avoid the thing I'm anxious about, or then like have a lot of thoughts about like blah, 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 blah. Whereas, like, okay, pause all the thinking, pause all the I should be anxious, I shouldn't be anxious, I'm anxious because of this is because of my trauma or whatever. Like, just sit with the feeling of like, oh my god, I just am so worried, and be like, okay, where is this coming from? Why am I feeling this way? What is the source of this feeling, even if it's not rational? And oftentimes it's like, oh, I'm gonna fail, or it's terrible, or, you know, the fact that I'm useless is going to come out, or something like that. And then, like, acknowledging that and like going deeper and sitting with yourself, I think is, I don't know, for me, that's my approach. It's hard, but I feel like in our current day time, it's really easy to distract yourself, and it's really easy to distract yourself and feel like you're doing something that's helpful when you're not. You're just distracting yourself, right? So honestly, my advice for most of my friends is often like, just like take time to yourself. It doesn't have to be meditation, but just like let yourself be bored and let your mind go where it will and think about what it will, you know? So, Shadefire. So I'm not trauma dumping. It's just something I deal with sometimes. I have depression, legit clinical depression. Oh, I'm sorry, that sucks. Sometimes I get so down that almost like a survival or a self-protection mechanism, my brain and body seem to get numb. If the case is extreme, which fortunately is rare, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad that it's rare. That does happen with depression. That's not uncommon. And yeah, that is a protection mechanism. And this is the thing, is that like sometimes the goal isn't to be super in touch with your emotions, right? Sometimes you have to like do what you have to do to survive moment to moment. History guy and freezer milk, I think you guys agree with each other. I think you guys agree with each other. I think you guys agree with each other. I think you're just coming at it from different angles. Like, life naturally has ups and downs, and that's normal, and also probably a good thing. Freezer Monk, I think what he's saying is that is a concern around there are people who avoid anything that could possibly be up or down, you know? But I don't think Freezer is actually avoiding everything that could be a down in his life. So yeah, no, I think you guys agree with each other more than you realize. Okay? Also, I don't think anyone wants anyone to gamble IRL. If you're trying to encourage people to gamble in real life, please don't. Don't do that. Don't gamble. Gambling is bad. Yeah. Why not start gambling? Let's not. Gacha is one thing. It's kind of gambling, but you know. It is kind of gambling, but you're not like gambling to make more money, you know, like sports betting or something like that. Like, you're not getting anything of value back. It's a little different, I think. It's like a gachapon, you know. Oh, Spectre, hi! Thank you for your first time chat. The gambling I do is on gacha games. Gacha is gambling. Okay, it is, but it's a little different. It's not a lot. It's not. It's like gambling in the same way that putting a quarter and getting a gumball out is gambling, right? Because you're not getting money back. It's not. You're not gambling. You're not putting money in to try to get more money out. Which I feel like is where things start to get really bad. You still get value back. It's just intangible, but not any less real. Well, I'm not saying you don't get value back. I'm saying that there's a difference. Many aspects of addiction are intangible. This is true. And there are definitely people who unfortunately have addiction type behaviors with gacha games. I do think, however, that it's a little like emotionally is probably not that different, but it is a little bit harder to try and justify gacha spending when there like literally is a 0% possibility of you getting any money back. I think part of the harm of gambling is the addiction part. No, 100%. I do think that it's definitely a big part of the harm, but I think that it's harder to stop something where you could justify to yourself, I could make money off of this, than something that's like, I get a JPEG for a video game. Cherry says, your voice is soothing as hell. Damn, I'm sleepy. You're welcome. I don't know if that was meant to be a good thing. Sorry, I'm making you sleepy. But, boom, 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 boom. Man. Today is a day for controversial takes, I think. I'll agree to disagree on that. Fair enough, yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Then again, moderation is the key word. That's true. I don't gamble, I drink chocolate milk and move on. Vibes. Gambling addiction is one of the things, it's a fascinating phenomenon. Like, you're literally making yourself addicted to the thing. It's not like a chemical addiction or some kind of drug stimulant is creating a need in your body. It's your body and your brain making that by itself. It's bad, but the medical way of it is fascinating. I mean, I think it's the process itself that ends up creating the addiction, right? It's the randomness of getting dopamine. Yeah. And people have said, like, people have shown, I guess, in research, right, that most of the high in gambling comes in the right before the result. Oh, Spectral uses he, him, they, them pronouns. Mostly. And child. Mother and child. I think works. But yeah, like, it's the I press this button and I don't know if I will get a reward. It's randomness. It makes people addicted to it, yeah. It makes the process what makes it addicted, right? So we're just drawn to that kind of randomness. I mean, that's why, like, you can apply this kind of like gambling dopamine whatever to refreshing your TikTok. Like, this is why like TikTok feeds and like shorts feeds are so easy to run through, because the moment of like swipe, is this next thing going to make me feel something strongly? Is it going to make me really happy? Is it going to make me angry? Is it going to make me sad? It's a little like gambling, and that's part of the appeal. Right? Even something like Mouse Hunt, which I have played for too long in my life, is similar. Who's Spectral? Oh. Spectral is one of my friends. He is also a streamer in the same streamer group that I am in, the Digital Dreamers. So, and I kind of recruited them. Kind of. So that's why he's one of my children. LMAO, I gamble with my report card. Will I get an A or a B? I mean, I think the like anticipation before you open a report card is kind of like the anticipation of gambling a little bit also. It's a similar thing. Okay. So I'm going to finish stream in a little bit. So please do this if you would like a signed print. My manager will reach out to you because I'm gonna make him figure it out. But subscribers get extra entries, and we'll be doing an entry we'll be doing a draw like every stream. I'm drawing 2 because I have 9 signed I have 9 signed prints and 1 small mouse pad and 1 big mouse pad. Apply gambling to everything. Will there be food in the fridge if I open this door? I mean, it is kind of true. It's the exploitation of our natural tendencies by companies that I find so problematic / evil. I mean, that's very true. Do I have to do it again? No. It's just been open the whole stream. Okay. I will be drawing 2 entries now. Okay. Okay, Twinkie! Twinkie, you won! Twinkie won and freezer milk! Okay, yay. Let me screen cap this. Why did my bottle have no spritz? Sorry. Yes. Congratulations. Yeah, you won a signed print. LMAO. The giveaway. The giveaway. Oh my gosh. What did I miss? Tapeworms. I was more focused on not getting a spritz. Okay, do it again and I'll make sure that it spritzes. There we go. Oh my gosh. Dum, ba, dum, dum. There, you got a spritz. Oh my god. Yeah, it's a gotcha if you get a spritz. It depends on if I notice it or not. We won the spritz 50-50. It is random. Let me open Discord real quick. Randomized hydration. Literally. Please. I may not get dehydrated because chat lost spritz 50-50 times in a row. 10 times in a row? Wait, really? 10 times in a row? It wasn't 10 times in a row. Okay, let's find someone to raid and we can finish. Let's see. Is my son still streaming? Yes. Oh my gosh, they have the Nico style comments up. That's really funny. Alright guys, thank you so much for being here with me today. Let's find someone to raid. It's Spectral as per usual. Look, it's not my fault that Spectral's like the only person who streams at the same time as me. Okay? We could raid other people, but you know, Every stream I join, we raid Spectral. I'm sorry. Okay, if you suggest someone else, I will raid them. If you guys suggest someone for me to raid, I will raid them. Thanks for always being so patient and kind. Thanks for the stream. Of course. I try my best to be patient and kind. I'm doing my best, okay? Am I the winning condition in this gamble? Yes, I have it set to only if Freezer sends it. Those are the only people who get it. Thanks for the stream, Lev. You're welcome. Okay, you guys are rating now. Bye!